Welcome to the Use Your Inside Voice podcast. I'm Heather Dawn. Let's kick it off with a dance party. Well, hello and welcome to the Use Your Inside Voice podcast. My name is Heather Dawn, and I am thrilled to be with you today. We have a very special guest. Her name is Anitha Johny, and Anitha is many things amongst, besides a lovely human being. She's a certified trauma-informed instructor, intuitive transformational coach. She's a certified hypnotherapist. She's a certified Reiki master, a healer, and a speaker. And she has an incredible story that I hope we get to hear lots of pieces of, because we all have a story that has many parts. And so she's going to be sharing some of those parts with us today. Anitha, welcome.
Hi, Heather. It is so beautiful to be here. Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness. You are welcome, and thank you again. I want to start off by just asking you, my favorite question to ask is, Anitha, how do you use your inside voice?
Well, how do I use my inside voice? How do you define inside voice, right? I know most people are used to saying inside voice as being be quiet, don't be so loud, just just be seen and not heard kind of inside voice, right? And I want to reframe that by saying inside voice should be your inner voice, your authentic voice,
Mm.
So how do I use my authentic voice? Is by showing up as myself, my authentic self, right? And I always tell people being your authentic self means so many things. And one of the things is just being joyful, just being so happy that I can be real in myself, right?
I
So
love
that's
that.
that's how I define my inner voice. How can I use my authentic voice and be unapologetic in the world? So
And
yes,
anybody that would meet you would be able to feel the joy coming
thank
off
you.
of you for sure. So I love that. Not only are you saying it, but you're walking the talk. You're talking the walk, walking the talk. Yeah. And thank you for identifying that use your inside voice is about taking that inside voice and actually putting it out into the world, because you probably know, because we talked prior to this interview, but the whole crux of this podcast to begin with is because I was told as a child to use your inside voice in a manner that meant be quiet. And although the person who said that to me never meant to silence me as a whole person, my little tiny little Heather internalized that message. And I lived my entire adult life with that undercurrent of nobody wants to hear what you have to say. And man, doing the work is powerful things come through. And that is why this podcast exists, is because I do have a voice to share. And so do so many other people on the planet. And I've created this podcast so that I can bring people on who have a voice to share, like you, and who have messages that are important for the world to hear, and to understand that they're not alone when it comes to some of the things that they might be going through. We each have such a unique journey that we're on, but yet it's so validating, for me at least, and maybe you can tell me how you feel, but it's so validating for me when I can hear somebody else's story and I can see myself, or I can feel those feelings in my own story. It just makes me feel like I'm not alone. Is that an experience that you could resonate with?
Yeah, yeah, of course. a lot of times you see people talking about their successes, and very little times do you hear about their failures or
Mm,
their vulnerable, you know, how
yes,
they're being vulnerable. And
yes.
there's so much strength and power in that, in us being able to relate, so we can see, oh, there's a possibility for me to heal too. There's a
Mm,
possibility for me to, go after my dreams as well.
amazing.
So 100%, being able to relate means so much to me, as a leader. And I love, if you've read Brene Brown's book about being vulnerable as a leader, that is so
Mm,
crucial. In today's world, you have less heart-centered leaders. Everybody is about the bottom dollar and everything.
mm,
But if you took the time to be vulnerable, to relate and connect with your employees or the people that work for you, the results are incredible.
yes,
Raving fans, they will take you to the top. That's why I like Richard Branson. He says he doesn't do anything. He just, you know, lifts up his employees, and the employees do everything,
amazing.
right? He doesn't
Yes.
have to worry about us. So that's just how it is. Being able to connect with people is just such a beautiful thing.
Okay. You mentioned employees and you mentioned the workplace twice now. And I know that there's part of your story involves corporate.
Yeah.
Um, would you be open to sharing with the listeners a little bit about your story,
Of course.
involving your corporate life and essentially how it sort of has brought you to where you are now? I'd love to see that arc.
Yes. Of
Wonderful.
course. Yeah. I was always been, a heart-centered leader. My theory, or, my philosophy has always been, if you want to grow in your career, you've got to grow as a person as well.
Mm,
It was my mentoring was very different. It wasn't just about training somebody on how to do the job. It was about growing as a person so you can elevate yourself. There's a saying that you can only take your clients as far as you've grown.
mm,
So I always focused on mentoring the person, the individual person, and then the career, hand in hand.
great.
So that's as a leader, that's how I've always been. And I've had my managers, wanting to emulate that as well, because you don't see that a lot. So
Yes.
in my corporate story is that as a leader and being true to myself, being my own authentic self was probably threatening to who I was working with. And they decided to do something that was not right. I was fired, but at the same time, my character was questioned,
Mm,
like character assassination. My whole
wow.
identity was called into question.
That must have been really hard.
That was devastating for me
Yeah.
because I was already coming from a loyal, committed leadership place and
Mm,
always looking to lift my team, because I was in the business of creating leaders at work. I'm
mm,
not just leading people, I was creating leaders. So being people centered and heart centered leader, and then having to be thrown out by saying, oh, you were dishonest, you were wrong, you were bad, or whatever they decided to paint me as, was very devastating for me. My whole identity was just stripped away. Your whole life you live one way and somebody just pulls that off from under your feet, right? So
mm,
that's how I felt. So I had to take time to heal, and my way of healing was through forgiveness and gratitude,
mm,
and detaching from that outside or external validation. I gave too much importance to that person calling me dishonest. I know that wasn't true. My family, my friends, my colleagues, everybody knew that wasn't true, but I still hung on to that word. It was that word that gave meaning to my identity and my life for
mm,
8 long months. So I had to detach from that word, that identity,
mm.
what meaning I gave to that word. only then was I able to start on my path of healing,
Through forgiveness and
Yes.
gratitude, two of the most powerful
Yeah,
motors, in my opinion, of healing.
exactly. And I do want to mention that when we talk about forgiveness, a lot of people have trauma right from that. When you say, oh, you have to forgive somebody for whatever they did to you, most people think that forgiving somebody means it's okay. You're okay with their behaviors. Whatever they did to you was okay, but that's not
Mm,
it. Forgiveness is not for the other party, but it's for you.
mm,
Forgiveness is for you to be able to release and detach from what happened to you, you
mm.
know? So for me, forgiveness meant freedom. That's how I call it. It was literally such a relief to release that external validation or whatever the action that that person took. Because now I'm
Yes,
not attached to it. So
yes.
that was literally freedom for me.
And, uh, you know, people don't always catch that forgiveness is a gift that you're not giving to the person that you're
Nope,
forgiving.
that's to me.
Forgiveness is a gift that you give to yourself when you forgive
Yes.
the other person or the other party
Yes.
or whatever. It releases you from the stranglehold that because
Mhm. Mhm.
holding someone, hostage to
Yep.
whatever they did and not choosing not to forgive them and not to like move on from it and just continue to like, go back and think about it is actually a stranglehold on your own heart and on your own peace.
Yep.
And when that forgiveness comes, it's like
Yep.
you've released the
Yeah.
stranglehold on your own soul. It's
Yeah.
it's an
Yeah.
incredible
It
feeling.
is. It is.
And
The
Anita, forgiveness is not easy for a lot of people. Do you have any tips or any ideas on how someone who might be in a position where they know there's forgiveness that needs to
yeah.
be given,
Yeah.
but they just don't know how to do it or where to start? Do you have any tips for the listeners?
Yeah. I really focus on that aspect of forgiveness. So in a lot of my work with clients, I do a lot of that. Um, if you can understand that the only person suffering here is you, right?
Mm,
You're hurting yourself. It's like drinking poison and expecting the person that harmed you or hurt you is suffering
mm,
from it. So we need to understand that first and work back from there.
mhm,
So all of the hurt, the resentment, the bitterness, all of that is hurting us.
mm,
So forgiveness actually starts from you,
ooh,
for you.
mm,
You have to give yourself that grace,
mm,
that compassion, that kindness. You really have to start with that. So
mm,
that is my whole I start with that, whenever anybody comes to me with a problem, whether it's couples, youngsters, young adults, anyone, the first thing I do is let's focus on you, right? Let's focus on that innermost part of ourselves and everything that we've been feeling, all of the emotions, all of the hurt, all of the fears, all of the anxiety, everything. Let's start healing ourselves. So
mm,
when we start being patient with ourselves, when we start having giving ourselves the grace and understanding and compassion, and that it's okay, that
yeah.
we are safe. I always tell my clients, talk to that little Heather or little Anita. Give them what they need
Mm,
first. They're hurting, you
yes.
know? So give that grace to yourself first. That's the first thing that you can do. Because yeah.
I love what you're saying. It resonates for me. You know, I've been in the work now for quite some time, and going back in my personal journey of healing, uh, the only place I really could start was with gratitude. Because the idea of forgiving someone, the idea of forgiving myself, the idea of accessing little Heather, like all of that was not that that
Yeah.
was not some place I could go early on in the healing journey. But I could express gratitude. I could
Yes.
find a couple of
Yeah.
things every day to be grateful for. And I like to refer to gratitude as like the gateway healing medicine, because literally everybody on the planet, even someone in the worst possible situation, conditions, living conditions, there is
Yes.
always something to express gratitude for.
Yes.
And even if it's one or two things a day, listeners, if you're one of those people that's stuck, you're just stuck and you can't get out of the negative loop,
Yeah.
and you want to heal but you don't know how, and you want to feel better but you don't know how, it's gratitude. I'm telling you. Anita, would you
Yes.
agree? Like, start there,
100%. 100%.
and get a little journal and like,
Yes. Scientifically, it is proven gratitude, changes a lot of things in your brain.
mhm,
So it really helps that, you know, our fight flight response,
mhm.
our nervous system to calm down. So that's what gratitude does.
Can you
So
talk? I'm sorry. I just want to
mhm.
make sure that I'm going like time out, time out, time out. Um, you just mentioned fight, flight. I know there are others. Do you think you could give just a quick rundown of the different sort of tactics that people use? Fight, flight. There's
Freeze.
freeze, and then
Mhm.
fawn. Could
Mhm.
you give us
Mhm.
a quick definition of those, and then we can circle back to where you were going with
Sure.
that thought? Okay.
So our, you know, body is, our nervous system is always protecting us, right?
Mhm.
So in ancient times, when there's, I don't know, a bull or something running to you, and your body, your brain right away tells you, dude, you gotta run for your life,
Okay. Yeah.
or
Right.
play
Right.
dead, or play dead. So it was all about protecting you, your safety. But in
Staying alive.
today's, exactly. In today's world, you don't have a bull running after you every time, but your body or your brain, it's not the hippocampus, it's the other one.
Oh
Right?
yeah. Mm, but
Right.
on this one, we're
Yeah, one of
that
those
one.
things.
Yes.
I have ADHD, so I
I,
always forget.
so do I. Welcome to the club.
Yes. So your brain cannot recognize what you are experiencing in the
Oh,
present moment
yes.
is from past or from the future or
Interesting.
from the present. So
And
that's the biggest downfall of how the brain reacts, right? So every time your body is stressed out,
mhm,
it's going to try to protect you either by fighting, you're defending yourself, you're fighting, all of that, or flight, you run away, hightail
mhm,
out of there,
mhm,
take yourself out of the scene, or you freeze. You can't
mhm.
move. You're like deer in the headlights. You're literally frozen to the spot, right? So that's how the brain works. So many of the times, anybody can relate to this. If you've had an event, an extremely something devastating happened to you years ago, it might have been 15, 20 years ago,
Right.
you just have to take your brain there. You just have to take your mind to that incident, think about it and feel about it for a few minutes, and you can see your body starts reacting.
Wild.
Literally, your physical responses, you start freezing up or you start getting anxious or panicky, whatever, because your brain thinks that incident is happening to you right now. Do something,
Mhm, mhm,
right? So because of that, in everyday circumstances, you might be at work or you might be driving on the road, somebody cuts in front of you, your brain saying something is happening. Stay
Yes.
safe, be safe, run away, fight, flight, whatever needs to happen, you need to do it to stay alive, right? So in those cases, you like, there's so many things that will happen to you in a day. That might be somebody cut you in traffic, or your boss yelled at you, or your dog bit you when she wasn't supposed to, or
Right.
your kids did something and you're annoyed now or
You
frustrated.
spilled something down your shirt on the way to work.
Exactly. On your the day that you have a meeting with a client
Right.
or whatever,
Right.
right? All those little things, your brain is perceiving it as a threat
Mm.
because you're not happy, you're not feeling good.
Mm.
Whatever emotion you're having, your brain is telling you there's something wrong. So all of those little things. So what happens with the body, or in ancient times, once that threat was gone, once the bull was gone, or you ran away or did whatever, and you're safe,
Yeah.
the brain was telling the body, okay, you're safe now. You can calm, you can be la-di-da and relax.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that cycle of trauma was
Yes.
completed,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But today, that's not happening because we're most of us are not aware of what's happening. So the
Yeah.
trauma cycle doesn't get completed. You don't get
Right.
a chance to tell your body or your mind, hey, I'm
Mm.
good. I'm safe now. You can calm
Mm.
down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that trauma response now is in your body. It's seeping into your cells. It gets stored in your body.
No. Yeah.
So there's this incredible book by Bessel. It's called Body Keeps Score.
Yes.
So every single time you have those trauma responses, all of that gets stored in your body. And
It's in the RAS system, right? Is that what it is? The
yes,
reticular
yes,
reticular activating system.
yes. So that's always on active mode, and
Mm.
it's not getting that cycle completed. So we're always in trauma mode. And then guess what happens? Because it's stored in your body, you've not worked through it, you've not cleared it, you've not closed that cycle, it's going to come up somewhere else. I had this experience with a coworker. I had hired somebody who had a very thick accent, and some of the colleagues, they couldn't understand this person. So there was one coworker who had hearing aids,
Mm.
and she got it as an adult. Not She didn't lose her hearing when she was a baby or anything. She lost her hearing as an adult.
Okay.
So this was a very mature, amazing, incredible person.
Okay.
And she flipped. Like she was triggered by this new coworker.
Wow.
And she did not realize it. She wasn't aware there was even this trauma. She didn't know it was going to come out.
Oh my goodness.
So in talking with her, we realized, so when she lost her hearing for the first time, it was traumatic for her because
Mm.
now she couldn't understand anybody. She was not feeling safe or secure.
Mm.
So because she didn't close that loop, that cycle, or process it, it got stored in her body, went into her unconscious mind, and it
Mm.
came out at a time that she wasn't expecting or realized it was there. She really got very upset and started retaliating. You can hire whoever you want and you don't even talk to me about it. You don't care what we want. She was really upset. But when
Mm.
she realized, okay, this is what it was, and you process it and you make your mind, your RAS feel, okay, I'm safe. Nothing serious going on here. It's just somebody who has a different accent. Poor guy. It's okay. We'll figure out something. We'll figure out how to communicate. So she had to do that work. right? To feel a
Wow.
lot better, to come back to her present moment. So that's
Wow.
how trauma response, those triggers that people don't realize they have, will come out if you don't work on your traumas.
And so, would you say what percentage of the people walking around
Ooh.
today have trauma that don't even would never call it that and wouldn't recognize it at that as that, but indeed do have trauma stored in their body? What do you think the percentage is? Is there a best guess?
I would say 100%.
Oh my gosh. Well,
I know that's extreme, but there's nobody who doesn't have little stresses every single day.
right,
You live, life will happen to you. So
right.
you're always having to come across things that are not pleasant or that don't agree with you or don't align with you. It's just a normal way of living, right? You will see things.
In your line of work, because you have a lot of, a lot of skill sets attached to your name, um, what can you share with listeners as something that they might be able to do for themselves to help close some of those loops so that maybe so much of the little stressors and little trauma responses don't get stored, but they are able to be processed and released so that they're not stuck in the body? Is there something that like an average day, everyday person can just employ as a method to help them take care of something?
Yeah, of course. First and foremost, be present,
Mm,
right? Most of us, just live by the seat of our pants. You're just going with the flow. I mean, it's good to go with the flow, but you're not really being present. It's a
mm,
routine. Everybody wakes up, brushes their teeth, eats, does this, does that, and just goes on their way. But when you become more present, you breathe. Half the
mm.
people don't even breathe right. They don't remember to even breathe.
So true.
So being present is very important. And that'll help you to be aware of your surroundings, what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you live intentionally every single day, now you're able to see if something happens. Oh, I didn't like that. That
Mm-hmm.
didn't feel good, right? Already, now you're aware something doesn't feel good. That's your indication. Hey, work on that. You don't want to let it just float away. You need to
Right.
sit with that for a second. If it's something that you need to give yourself a talking to, or you need to start working on it or feel better, whatever you need to do, you need to give that to yourself. So don't let, how they say, don't go to bed without figuring out all your problems. Even if you didn't solve a problem, at least accept there is something, know that you're safe, you're in a good place and you can work it out. So you're reassuring your body
Mm.
and your mind that everything is okay. That itself brings down,
That's
the
so
response.
good on so many levels.
Yeah.
Uh, Again, as part of my healing process, and it's been going on for years at this point. Read listeners, I hate to tell you, but like it's not a one and done thing. It's
Nope.
constant work. And it does get easier. It does start moving
Yes.
faster. You do start having an awareness that shifts things way quicker. And it's really cool when that moment happens, when those shifts start
Shift. Yep.
start going a lot faster because you're like,
Yep.
oh, I know what's happening here. Boom, I know what to do.
Yes.
Um, it's in the beginning when you're just like in the chaos of what the heck is happening to me? Why am I upset and crying all the time? And I don't, like I'm a full grown adult. Let me keep this together. You got to let yourself feel. And that's what
Yes.
Anita just talked about is like drop in and give those emotions some time to breathe. And you nailed it on the head earlier, Anita, when you said we're so busy, we're on the go. It's like constantly moving. And so we never give ourselves the time to even acknowledge that we've experienced something stressful and just shoved it down and just kept going. And I'm
Yep.
guilty of that. I'm a mother of 6. I am always on the go. Like there is an internal schedule that's like, all right, we're going to the store. We got to get this, that, and the other. If
Mhm.
something happens at the store, I don't have time to sit there and like breathe it out and like give myself time to process.
Yeah.
It's like, let's move on and let's go. And I think that's a little bit of the problem that we all experience, is that
Yep.
we cram too much too quickly into any period of time, that we don't allow ourselves to, A, like you said, be present. And then B, when something does come up, feel it. You gotta feel it. And and feeling it doesn't mean you're solving it. Feeling it just means that you're giving it a little bit of air around. And you're breathing, right? It would be awesome if you could take us through like a simple grounding breathing technique that could take like 2 minutes, right? That someone who feels activated, you can find 2 minutes. Okay. I don't care if you're late for the next thing. 2 minutes is worth the years of stress that you could shave off by not storing that in your body.
Yeah.
Could you take us through like a 2 minute something?
Um, we can, but I also have a
Oh yeah.
very simple thing that you can do is breathing. So
Okay.
there's a term called box breathing.
Okay.
It's as simple as it is. So you just take 4 seconds of inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 seconds of exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you do that for like 30 seconds or 60 seconds. So that inhale and exhale, box breathing.
Easy, right?
You do that for 30 seconds, your
You're reset.
body is going to reset.
That's
It's going
amazing.
to give you space to calm
Yes.
down.
Yes.
So already your mind knows, okay, there's no, there's no threat happening right now. You're okay. You're safe. So right away you can use that. I mean, that's highly recommended. I mean, you might not even have time to do anything else, because you might have to, if it's an accident or somebody flipped you on the road, cut you, and you still have to drive, you can definitely breathe.
You
You
can
are
breathe while
always
you're
breathing.
driving.
You
Yes, you
can
can breathe
always
and
breathe.
count. Breathe and count.
Just, and when you exhale, just feel your
Oh,
shoulders
right?
just
Uh,
relaxing. Just let it go. Let it go.
that's
You
a
know?
great tip.
So
That's
that's number one thing that I always tell everybody and that you can always do. Another thing is it's called havening. In
oh,
the hypnotherapy world, we call it havening. So you're just taking your hands to both your arms and just 30 seconds of that. You're just
ooh.
reassuring yourself,
I'm
you
getting
know?
goosebumps. I'm getting
Yeah.
like full body chill, like all the way down my legs. Is that normal?
Yes. Yes. It really helps you. It's like this is what you would do to for your child, right? Your
I
own
think
child.
I
It's
think little
okay.
Heather likes this, Anita.
You're safe. You're good.
You're safe.
Everything is okay. We'll figure it
Okay.
out. You're good.
Literally, I
Yes.
mean, I have out loud said those words to myself. It's okay. You're okay. It's okay. You're okay. And a lot of times I just put my hands on my heart
Yes,
and
this
breath,
also works.
just so that I can feel contact on my heart center. And I just say, you're okay. It's okay.
Mhm.
Through the tears, through the whatever.
Yeah,
It's okay.
100%.
You're okay. And I don't know, like it's magic,
It is. It's magical.
magic. But I
It
like
really
this
is.
one.
Yeah. It's called havening. You
Havening.
can look that up. Yes.
Okay. Havening, we've got it doesn't matter which arm crosses in front. Right?
No, yeah.
Cross your arms
It's
in
yours.
front of you, like make an X in front of bend your elbows up towards so that your arms are resting on your shoulder, your hands are resting on your shoulders in a crossed motion, and then take each hand and just brush down your biceps. And it's called havening, and you're okay,
Yeah.
it's okay, you're
And
okay.
just say
It's
that, I'm
it's
safe.
lovely.
I'm loved.
Lovely.
I'm
Mm,
friend.
this is good.
You can just hug yourself.
And then,
That feels
yeah,
good too.
little embrace. Mm. Oh, that's so good. That
Yeah.
was that's three things you can do. You can do the box breathing, you
Yeah.
can do the havening, or you can take your two hands on
Yeah.
top of each other and press into
Yes.
your heart and just breathe and say, you're
Right.
okay, it's okay, I love you, you're safe, it's
Yeah.
okay to feel this way, right? All those.
Yes, you can do that. Another thing you can do is break the pattern, right?
Okay.
If you're overwhelmed and all of that happening, maybe even take a glass of water,
Oh, take a drink.
take a few gulps of water. That already your brain has to take its focus and attention away from that, come to what
Mm,
you're doing, look somewhere else, jump up and down. I don't know, whatever you have to do, break that pattern of what's going on in your head, right? So
wow.
that also helps. It gives you a pause, it gives you a second to maybe,
Yeah.
oh, your awareness to come in, and then you can do something else, whatever it
Yeah.
is. So lots of things that you can use.
It's so
Yeah.
simple though, right? It's
It
so
is.
simple. And
Yeah.
yet when we're activated,
Yeah.
sometimes it's really tough
Yeah.
to
That's why people say
find
go
our
to
way
your
out.
happy place. You
Oh my
know,
gosh.
for those who are working,
I never thought
if
about that.
yeah,
And
if you're at work, yeah,
you
yeah,
always
yeah.
see like the person like what was it? Uh in Kung Fu Panda when Master Shifu was like, holding his fingers and he's saying inner
He's
peace,
anchoring.
inner peace, inner peace, inner peace, and his eyes twitching like inner peace. It's so fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell
Um,
people who are working, keep a photograph of something next to your laptop of maybe your favorite vacation or your family or something funny, whatever it is, you're breaking the
yeah,
pattern. And immediately when you shift your eyes and look at whatever fun thing that was there, or even your pet sitting next to you,
yeah,
you can actually already feel your body just sighing that relief.
that
So
is
anything.
it's so simple. It really, really is. Those are
Yeah.
great, simple, easy tips.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So you have another tool in your tool belt that we haven't talked about, and I'm hoping that you'll be willing to talk about it just for a little bit. EFT tapping. And we might have to have you
Mhm.
back just to talk about tapping
Yes, we have to
because
do that on a different day.
yeah, because I know how powerful this tool is. Can you just at least give the listeners a little overview of what EFT tapping is and um, kind of what the process would look like if you were going to take somebody through a tapping journey, a little tapping session?
Yes, so you're basically anchoring in your body, right? That's what the tapping does for you. So many practitioners will do different kinds. They will first, kind of make you accept your current situation and then tap in your new version. So it's kind of like reframing. You can
Mm,
say, oh, I'm such a klutz at this. And at the next sentence, you can say, I can do better. So
mm,
you're reframing that. So when you do both of these together, you kind of, okay, if your mind, unconsciously says, oh, I'm such a klutz, since you've already activated that before, by memorizing it, your next sentence in your brain is already, I can do better, or I'll figure it out. So
mm,
that's the concept that we use in the tapping, but I do more of the positive tapping.
mm.
You can just, accept your current situation, where you are, what you're going through, whatever negative feelings or limited beliefs you have. It just takes a little bit, just 2 seconds. You don't have to do full on tapping for that. And then you just affirm or lock in your positive feelings, right?
Mm,
So when you start saying, the positive affirmations, when people talk about manifesting, they say, oh, you just have to wish it, you just have to fake it till you make it.
yeah.
That's just not the right way to do it. So when you are saying these positive affirmations, you have to also feel it in,
Mm,
right? So when you say, I'm good, I'm safe, just breathe that in for a minute
mm-hmm.
and actually let your body feel that, right? So when you're doing it, you're actually anchoring in those things. We also do this in hypnotherapy. Get yourself to a really great memory of
Mm,
whatever happy space you were, just feeling all of that feelings in that moment, and then you lock it in, right? You anchor those feelings in. So next time you have something horrible going on, you just have to take your mind to that spot, and immediately your body, calms down or feels good or whatever. So the tapping is literally, you're just anchoring it all in. So
and tapping goes through, how many different meridians on your body? What does it look like?
I think we need a completely
We
different
do.
time to do all of that. Yeah. But yeah, all of those important points in your body is what we use. You can use different things, but yeah, definitely need a different call to do that.
That is happening. Okay. That is happening. We're going to lock that in.
100%.
Okay. So I feel like so much has been covered. I feel like you shared so many wonderful little nuggets for the listeners. And hello, puppy dog. Was that your?
I know.
Hello.
She's like mom and all.
Hey, it's like real life over here.
Yes.
I am so grateful that you came on and that you shared all that you did. We talked about little traumas that we all walk around with, and ways that we can actually close the loop and not hang on to that so it doesn't get stored. We talked about box breathing. We talked about havening. Love that. We talked about just putting your hands on your heart and breathing. And then you also you gave us one more. What was the last one that you gave us?
Was it the box breathing? We already did that.
Just pulling your focus elsewhere. So it could be
breaking the pattern.
It could be something as simple as taking a drink of water, or looking at a picture of a happy place that happy memory, and all of those things. So many great tips. I'm so grateful. I do want to let our listeners know that Anitha is also a published author. And as a gift to all of the listeners, we're going to include in the show notes a link to her ebook that she co-authored with 3 other beautiful souls. And the book is called Brave Enough. And it's your gift from Anitha to you with the ebook link. And so we will also put links on how you can follow Anitha on social media, as well as if you are excited about doing maybe an EFT tapping session with her, or a hypnotherapy session with her, or using her as a coach because she's trauma informed, or if you've experienced corporate trauma in your life and you want to talk about it with someone who's been through it. These are all wonderful ways that Anitha can connect with you. So we're going to put all of that in the show notes. And Anitha, I just want to say a great big thank you again for coming and sharing your heart and sharing your inside voice, your unique inside voice on this podcast. I am truly, truly grateful.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you so much. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, you are so welcome. And to my listeners, remember to drop in and find that inside voice and use it to create good in the world. Bye for now. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Use Your Inside Voice podcast. I'm Heather Dawn. We'll see you next Friday and every Friday after that.